All right, folks, I'm not even going to play the song again here. Let's get to it. I think something dropped off. Give it a second. All right, folks, I'm not. Hold on. I lost everybody. Let's do this again. Come on back in, everybody. Should we start the song? Let's start the song one more time, right? Come on back in. Oh, you guys never left? I think I lost it. Something, been having technical issues. Welcome back. Come on back. Not sure what happened. We are back. Doesn't matter. Thank you. I don't know what happened there. It's been like that today. Kind of some last minute gremlins. Anyway, what's up, GG, Alec, Mr. Ken, Justin, Ed, Joe, Steady Growth, Neil, Kat. Kat, you hear what I'm saying, right? You heard what I was saying in the chat. Just trying to keep it real, man. DM me, Kat. I've got a couple ideas. Okay, let everybody get on back in here. We're starting again. Had a little issue. And I think today's incredibly important, especially before the weekend. Big shout out for Bob Marley's 80th birthday. That never was. Bob Marley, just what a force. Would have been 80 years old today. Let me gloss over a couple of bits of historic sentiment for him. Wish I saw him. I was like one of the few people I never saw live in concert. He would have been great. Come on back in, settle in, guys. Great. Happy to have you. Sounds like an echo chamber? I don't know. How's the sound, everybody? Because if the sound stinks, let me check. You know what it might be? I see what's going on here. I think we've got like 3 microphone feeds on. How about that? You know, this Streamlabs is just never worked out for me. Just me and the Streamlabs never worked. I think that's better. Chat's open. The sound is kind of cool. Echoey. Hi. Hold on. We'll keep trying. Let me try something here. And welcome back to everybody else that's getting in here. Come on back in. We had a little issue starting. Let me see what's going on. The headset looks good. I'm trying to turn off anything that might be there. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. And appreciate your patience. I appreciate all of you. So let's get back to what I started with today, which was everyone get over to harmonictrader.com. That's it. Get with the software. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst. What I was saying before we got cut off is we are going to do a course, and it's probably going to be March 21st. It might be as much as a 3-day event. Identification, execution, management. That's always for any methodology. But as I started to put together some notes, I really think this is what's needed along with the software so that people can get the maximum effect and really understand what the harmonic pattern framework's all about. Because the only thing we really need to do once we learn the framework is get our butts in line with what the framework is telling us. Always. Appreciate that. I think it's good. Volume up, please. Okay. Anybody else? Volume up. There you go. That's probably better. And I think we're good now. Okay. Tell me how that is. Again, this is the sloppy edition, the sloppy Thursday edition of Harmonic Pattern Podcast number 388. Yeah, looking good. Let's redline it just a touch. Red line, red line. There you go. I just boosted that a little bit. So what we talk about here in Harmonic Pattern Podcast land, harmonic pattern framework, strategies, confirmation, truth to power, no narrative, no use case. Why? Because we got to measure our levels, and then we use those levels to interpret strategy. And right now, I just continue to see this overwhelming bullish narrative of, especially with the maxis, that Bitcoin is destined to go straight up in the air forever. And I'm just not, I want to keep it real for everybody. Why? Because when we get past certain inflection points, when we get past, okay, price realities, because it's all about price, and you're not sitting on your hands, okay, when everyone else is, you're feeling a lot better not having to go through 38.2% drawdowns. Right now, Bitcoin is set up into a type 2 return. The bat pattern that completed on Sunday's big, I wouldn't call it a crash, but a flush, did exactly what it should do. Reaction, target 1 did not exceed target 2. We'll talk a lot about this in the course. Okay, but then what did it do since our last session? HSI confirmed, perfect check back, one red candle, second red candle, HSI dot trigger gone on, and now we send it. And we send it not 94, but 91,584 minimum. And how do we know? Again, step by step, with another step in between. Okay, tell me about HSI. What way is that pointing? Is that up or down? It's down. What's amplified? This is our amplified RSI. Shout out to Wells Wilder for creating the greatest indicator that ever lived. Okay, it's down. And not only down, under the 50 level. Those are all immediate signs that match what's happening with the return phase. What has to happen? We just go and reach that and do it in terms of price. Okay, this is a lot of the same strategy that we talked about on the upside going into November through December, early January, and now we're dealing with this sideways zone. We've talked about the 96 to 115 as the consolidation zone, and then a week or two ago I said, let's bring that down, like 102 to 92. Why? Because we had this bullish bat go 1 and 2 at 93 and change, go all the way back to 108, flush right above and fail. And that is a failure. You have failed, Bitcoin. You have failed. Now, what's the big number, guys? Forever and a day. Okay, 1025 on Bitcoin. 15 months. I should go back and see what was the first time I truly laid that out. Was it like September? Maybe November 23? Because it's been that long. And the big 1618, which is our primary metric, right there, you know, depending on what your feed is here, maybe adjust that a little bit. This is the all-time Bitcoin index, history index. Okay, but it's kind of like that, depending on your feed. 1025 is forever and a day, guys. We talked about that. And now we're here. So we got to admit to ourselves, Nothing goes straight up. And the stair-step mechanism, it's a wave mechanism of the markets. Markets move in waves. Even if they want to go straight up, they still move in waves. They go up, they go down, they go down, they go up. And now what's happening? We know 1025. Okay, how many weeks have we been here? Because we initially tested it first week of December. Now, first week of February. We're 8-9 weeks into it, and now we get confirmation. This is the argument. This is how I work through every trading opportunity, because I have to explain to myself what the price action is doing and what are the possibilities. So 1025, we said, would be a pause, digestion, consolidation. Now it could be more. And I got into this on Tuesday, and I'm going to probably really get into it today in a way that needs to be addressed. So if it's 1025 and that 1618 is for real, and I said this on Tuesday, there's only two possibilities. We go up, do all-time either 236, that's a minimum harmonic retracement. I'm not even a fan of that, but I'll consider that. Down as low as a 382 minimum. And that puts you sub 75K into this retracement phase. Where have we seen that again? Well, we saw it in August. I mentioned that. But check out what happened here. Okay, you go back to the 2020 cycle. What was this? I mean, all time. That first thrust wave was a 50%, not quite a 618, but there was the 382. Meaning on the week that it hit the 382 level, around 39K, even though it went lower, okay, it's still, that was your objective. That was the minimum target. Stabilized, returned for a fake out. But at this point, it had already done a 3618 off the prior cycle, meaning this. Okay, again, we used specified ratios. We build it like a framework. We look at specific spots. I told you that before. All right, look at last cycle's 1618. It annihilated it. Okay, annihilated it at 30K, straight on through. Did a little pause, but then 3618. And then back up. There's your 3618. I mean, to the T. 3618 is the maximum number we use. And that was the cycle top. I'm not saying this is cycle top, but I'm saying is we have to pay. This 1618 action is telling us we have to pay for the big gains from 2022 low all the way up to there, which was 5x off the low, 6x off the low. And you got to come back down, okay? The whole thesis of all of this crypto argument is based on Bitcoin. And we look at, say, weekly levels on Bitcoin, much like what we saw on the 4-hour, HSI is under the 50, guys. We had a chance, just a chance 2 weeks ago that we could return back up. That failed. That's why this Sunday close is so critical. If we've rolled over. The last 8-9 days have rolled over to where even HSI is telling us we need that test. We need that oversold. And then simply with amplified, it's not at the 50, but true price acceleration happens down here. I'm of the opinion at a minimum that we could be looking at much like we had last year. In fact, I would say we're kind of like here, 8 weeks out, 9 weeks out. It's maybe a little ahead of schedule, but there was our dot. Let me clean up the chart. I talked about this on Tuesday, but I think now we really got to pound it home. So, we're totally out in front of this, that all the narrative and Bitcoin reserves in the world are not going to satisfy what needs to happen. Basically, this massive wave is over, and we need to alleviate that overbought 1618 level. And we're going to get a dot. And much like we had that dot there back in April of last year, okay, we're going to, hate to say it, it's not, we want the party, right? We want a party. We want it to go. But that is not what's happening. And so we deal and we get in front of it, and we do not ignore the obvious. This is the obvious. And there's a lot of really interesting influencers out there. I had a little exchange with Alex Becker a day or two ago, and because he's saying, I'm buying. I was like, enjoy the round trip, because there's a lot of things that still need confirmation, and they need to alleviate the obvious overbought pressure. And this is being real with any trading market and speculation in general that you want to get into. Alex is a deep-pocketed guy. He can apparently ride 70%, 80% corrections. I'm, as a trader, I just fundamentally cannot do that, and I want to express how critical that is for me and for you. So let's be aware of that. I understand that this is proprietary software, a proprietary methodology, okay, but it has served us extremely well, really going back 15 months. And even in this last correction, and study what happened last year, March, April, and then finally we got the signal. I'm going to show you what we would need to see. Okay, remember this back in September? Like, we went sub 50 on HSI back in April. And then we did this where everyone was really frustrated all summer long. And then you can go to the day that we broke that out. That was like the 17th of September. Go to that live stream, or go to the week before. Go to the 10th or the 12th, and what we were looking for. Okay, this is what I would want to see before I would say Bitcoin's ready to do another move. And we're here going down. You have work to do. Let's not ignore these obvious signals. That's what's going on. I have to look at total crypto. I haven't looked at that in a while, but it's basically mirroring the Bitcoin chart, where here you go. And maybe not as strong. Like, we never got our 1618 was all the way here, and we're not there yet. 4.44 trillion, something like that. What's that? It's like a 127. It did not really do what I thought we'd still do, the perfect deep crab, and maybe we will. And it might end up being something like this, where we get a clear 3 drives, like there to there, come back down to like a 50 level or a 618 level on total index. That puts you at like 2.5, maybe just sub 2.5 by a scratch, and then maybe do one more push higher to get to the 1618. The thing that I don't like, and I really thought we'd get the continuation to reach maximum like 3618, whatever, the longer this does the corrective wave kind of a thing. you know, then the less likely it is we do 3618. Maybe we do 1618. 1618 has always been price discovery upside objective, 4.4, 4.5 trillion. But we're got to go through this kind of a thing. I mean, look, just show you 1618 expansion, typically followed by a 382 minimum retracement. What was that? 382. That was hit, but that was only a first test. And the longer we fail to even produce a green candle, okay, the longer that's going to take. Take a look at the weekly. What's your weekly indicators pointing? I mean, you could call this XYZ indicator. Doesn't really matter. Harmonic strength, HSI. Okay, we cracked the 50. That was about 6 weeks ago. Could never rebound. And there's still plenty of time, guys. But what I'm saying is it's almost an automatic retracement that's necessary. The big thing for me is that literally this week we're cracking amplified 50 level, which directionally is one of the last steps that I look for to assume that this larger retracement is about to begin. What's up, Jim? Jim's asking about the course. I introduced that in the beginning today. Sorry about the cutoff. We had to restart, but I think we're going to do that March 21st, guys. So that and if you buy the software or you're a software owner, it will be free. Okay? So get the software is how we do it. That's it. Get the software because we're going to need to navigate, continue to navigate in the same way we navigate on the upside. We're doing it the same way on the downside. And you know what? By the 21st, all of this is going to be obvious. And we'll talk markets. We'll talk larger markets as well because I feel like I've done a better job getting out in front of that. Like even though Nasdaq's up 51 today, S&P's up 9, almost 6,100. I've got concerns. I've got concerns because we're still in a type 1 retracement across the board on all of that. And then we'll see. I've told you guys that I am waiting on the sidelines for any kind of for the major bullish continuation. But we need time. And that's how I do markets. I'm not all in all the time. I think it's a great trading environment, but just day trading. That's it. I'll look at some of the other positions like Palantir and Robinhood that I've been riding for months. It's probably time to lump out. Enter in on chunks, exit on lumps. We'll do more of that. But that's I just have to be clear. Okay, I really want to be, I mean, I've been kind of leaning that way for the last 2 weeks. Tuesday, I was really like, okay, we need to talk here. And now we need to just look for this retracement phase. Here's total 3. What's going on there? Weekly chart. Well, there was the all-time high. Come down, secondary high, fails it. And so let's just connect dots. Going off of August low, but we don't even need to. You can go off of here, be conservative. Just say last 30 bars. XA. B's at a 55, which calls it a bat. And that's an 886. That's an 886. And that's, look, within this larger move, it's not a big deal, but I don't want to go through 38.2 or because that total move is going to be more than the 382 or a 50% pullback of that wave. It's a lot like what we saw last year. Total 3 is also like this. And yeah, that's from probably Tuesday. Just showing you guys. Now we have the 50 breakdown this week. Last week was the first week it hit it, and that's amplified. And we typically need both of those to come together. And here you go. You got to get down to there and get oversold. We can go back to early last year. I would say you're like here. So you got to not only go in, scoop out, and do a dance where you have to come out of the zone and give some kind of development. Last year, it dragged. I mean, look at that. I mean, we had the yellow dot, double dot for the better part of 3 to 5 months. And then finally, and I was raging about Total 3, that once we got this breakout in mid-September, for me, that was go time. And there was still plenty of time to catch that next wave. That's where we are. St. Patrick's Day, maybe. We'll see. I will let you guys know. I want to put together the whole framework, speaking of framework, or outline of what needs to be discussed. And guys, when you get the software, I do send you a foundation course. But the kind of course that I'm sketching together now is going to be more step-by-step signal. Okay, software generates X. Oh, I just removed all my indicators. Hold on, I'm going to have to change this. Software calculates the patterns. All right, and then we get the signals. How do you respond? How do you read it? There's plenty of material on that. But for now, we got a deal. Solana on the daily time frame. We have this crab pattern on the daily, which is why 265 was rejected twice. And then weekly, we know about the bigger crab. And that's still in a type 1, by the way. And I'm looking for, okay, really 166 at a minimum on Solana, maybe lower. This could not break out to the all-time new high. That's telling you something. It's saying, I'm not ready now. I just don't want to do it yet. And when we're really close to breaking enough structure, and these little points do matter, that you take out this low. What's that? That low is like 169. It violates the whole structure. That's it. It violates the whole structure. So you're 190. I'm saying minimum 166 or lower to resolve what started not only back in July, but all of this whole thing, and take the range high to low, all-time range high to low. I mean, that was an amazing run, 10 to 200, 20x, phenomenal. All-time 382 is right there at 185, 188 probably. So you see this thing really breaking down underneath there and breaks 166. I'd say 50. Minimum 50 retracement. 150 to 166. That's where I would look for the next opportunity at a minimum, and I would still want to see some kind of oversold trigger. Nothing is there. It's not there. In fact, you're closer to having a real problem with this failure at the 50 that happened about 8 days ago. Got to get in front of it. I got to get in front of it for everyone, especially new folks. Shill me. Let's go. Okay, you guys have about 5 minutes to shill me whatever coin you want to talk about, because I have to get to the markets. Who wants to win a 30-day license? 30-day gold package? Type in HPC 30 and we'll give away a 30-day software, 30-day license, and you can come to the course. How about that? Daniel at Solana 106. Yeah, but I'm going to take it in steps. ZEC, Zcash, YFI, OXO, SHX, Random Vlogs, congratulations. Random Vlogs, you got to DM me on the Discord, okay? And that Discord link is available in the information. Here it is, and it's also, I'm going to put it into the chat. Way to go, Random Vlogs. 30 days of the software, 30 days of the gold membership, and we'll give away one more. Unfortunately, I need to sign in for some reason. Hold on. I'm going to sign back in so I can give you guys, I'll put the Discord link in the chat. And let me bring this back here for a second. Great. Awesome. Wait, one more. There you go. Discord link is in the chat. Anybody else wants to join us in the Discord, by all means. I'll give away one more. ZEC, Zcash. Boy, that really looked like it was going to do big things. And again, it can come back basically to static support and have to rebase. Where are we? To 30 bucks. Are you kidding me? That's how quickly we're giving this back. Thank you for bringing this up. Okay, Zcash. Zcash was a bunch of things. You know, remember everything at 20? All the way back down here? And then it did the big move. The shark at 18, 20, couple of patterns. And it did a crazy move. Well, there was the deep crab. Did the 1 and did the 2. Pretty, and it just hit target 2 of 37. I think that's pretty much 98% of all the other crypto. You're going to have to full reset. I would want to see a big pattern as well. You know, maybe like for Zcash, you come all the way back down with yet another bat pattern. We've seen this before, but that big pattern was absolutely it. This is a Gartley by definition. B points at a 618, truly within the tolerance. So 786 is right about there, all time. But here's the easy read. Okay, you got to get HSI pointing in the right direction. Harmonic Strength Index is not. It needs to go up above the 50. That's not a bad, it's really not a bad thought, but you're so early in this. Like consider your like day 2. And confirmation just happened yesterday with the yellow dot. So I would say really with confirmation, today would be almost day 1 of that whole scenario. And you're going to need more time. There we go again. Yes, Daniel. I said that earlier. I think we got to go BTC 382. YFI. I haven't looked at that in a while. I'm only going to do a handful today. Yeah, look at this. 5,000 to 13 or 2,000. Yeah, look. Lots of patterns preceding the cycle. I mean, pretty amazing stuff. 54, 5,100. Okay. And then this is where back-to-back patterns definitely came into play. I mean, I haven't looked at Yearn Finance probably since November. There's not one that I caught, but that's 2, 3x. And what this really is, it's a type 2 butterfly. Because why? We would look at that from 5,000, 5,100 to 76. And it again went well above target 2. Now you're coming back for the retest, 57. So what do we need here? You need confirmation. Like before, I would look at that again. Yeah, look, a lot of patterns, a lot of static support at 5K. But just like the last time, you would need something like this. You need some dots. And where are you? Yearn has nothing There's no confirmation here for this to be a secondary attempt. So I would almost, I'd say lower, 5,600, but you got to come in like that. That's a daily chart. The other thing to take a look at, okay, amplified is deeply oversold. That would need to turn out too. You can apply that to all the same. That was, look, there's been a lot of patterns developing to retest without confirmation. Without confirmation, you have no trade opportunity. I hope nobody's on the hopium in here. That's really what you want to be on hopium now. You're ignoring complete framework opportunities that are pointing us lower. A couple more. Someone wanted this 0x0. I talked about that last time. Told you guys I was looking to bail out because we didn't have confirmation. And it's, I also said, I'm not going to spend much time on this, but it's a beautiful creature. It's beautiful. This would be something Alex Beckard probably buys. And then rides it down to 10 cents or under 11 cents. For me, I need to see confirmation. I think it's great. It's a beautiful creature here, but you're much like you were on the last test back in August. Great pattern structure, but then you spent 2 months going sideways before you got to type 1. This is also important for understanding, where you are, what are the possibilities when you do have a pattern, because a pattern doesn't mean a home run. It means reaction first, then do the return move. And look, there's the T2, there's the dot. All right. There's the dot, which starts the opportunity. And then you still took what? 2-3 weeks, 14, 15 bars before you even were able to start the move. You're a T2 here, somewhere around 10 cents. You're assuming target 2, which it did a little bit more. But again, there's your confirmation on the top end. Now we're back down. I posted this. Someone asked me about this. I responded to a ton of requests over the weekend, and I just said, look for this thing back down around 15. Okay, maybe retest this all the way, but we still need confirmation. And I bought a little bit of this thinking that was the confirmation. Wrong. So I scaled out. I told you guys I was scaling out of things on Tuesday. And now, I lumped out on a lot of stuff. I'm going to lump out more before tomorrow. I don't want to be involved this weekend. Something's coming. Hear my words. Something's coming. If it's not this weekend, it's certainly by the end of the month. And it's not that I'm completely trashing everything. I just think it's a beautiful pattern, no doubt. The minimum number is 15.6, but we're going to get this lower, like 10, much or lower, like you had here, where you got it at 9 cents. So you're talking still, and this is the problem with crypto, because you think, oh, what's 12 cents? Until it gets to 9 cents, and then you're down 25%. That's also the reason why that you enter on chunks. What's a chunk? It's 1/4 of the desired position, or 1/3, or 1/5. Get a little in, down in the zone. If it starts to develop, add a little more. That's also prime strategy material for the course. Lawrence wants to look at Hbar, so do I. Hbar is another one. Could never break out. And here's Hbar. And I hate to say this, man. I don't, for people that got caught into positions, I've got caught, not on a lot, but more than I'd like to really own up to, but I want to own up to it because I want to be real, truthful. You guys know I killed the run, okay? But I'm not round tripping, and I'm not going to have anybody here round trip it. So what's the deal on Hbar? Where are we? Anything oversold? Not yet. Go to the weekly chart. It's probably, I think, something a bit clearer. What's Hbar? HSI dot 8 days ago. Last week, a perfect check back where 32 was it. This is why you really get the software. I can repeat this stuff, but I think once I show you how to work through the framework, the signals, because I missed Hbar. I never caught it. Never got into it. It was amazing. I even was dismissive about Hbar at 4 cents. Okay, what was the high? 39, almost a 10x. Now 23 cents. Where is it going? Well, the easy read is simply, what's HSI going to do? What's that weekly directional signal showing? It's down. It's under the 50. It's been under the 58 days. But here's the bigger point. We're under the 50 with amplified. And that's where price can accelerate, quite frankly. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to be in front of my screen this weekend, going into next week. Is it? It's not. No, it's next weekend, right? President's Day weekend? Next weekend. Yeah. Sure, guys, I can look at some FX. Been getting a lot of requests for Forex lately, and I'm happy to oblige. I haven't looked at Forex in a long time. I haven't traded Forex in years because the action just got terrible. But now that might be changing. So I can look at GPD or Euro Yen. Yep. Hook of Fish is saying BTC has bullish divergence on the weekly. Good luck with that, man. The simple bullish divergence is only a complementary signal and reading in terms of price level analysis. And our price levels are harmonic patterns. What's the big deal for Hbar? And what would be the pattern here? If this is going into some kind of pattern, there's X. A. B. Is it an M shape? No. It's actually a harmonic impulse wave of a failed high that takes you down to a 1618 minimum. And I'll leave that there. Okay? Like that. I think of it this way. If that's a failed high, this 1618, that's our primary number. This is in process of a 1618 harmonic impulse wave. Is it a shark? Could be. The shark needs an 886. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Structurally, you put that together, yes. But we could get an oversold reading before then. But this failed wave up here, and let's just look at it. Okay, that's a failed wave. It fails. It goes above the all-time high, almost to a perfect 113, and flush down. Listen, last week was the big structural breakdown. I think that's deep down inside, that's what got me. You structurally failed this whole wave up. But that's it. And you go to like monthly chart. I need a better, come on, I need a better feed like Binance. Longer term. Where are we? Is it a full 886 retest? Nope. There's a 382. That's our minimum. And that was like 23. 618 is like there at 35, 37. That's about it on the monthly. Couple more. Couple more. There you go. There's, I think Alex, whatever his name is, Becker. I think isn't he into Destra, Desync? It should be DSINK really at this point. Desync. What is that? What's that? I'm gonna have to put the name in. It is Desync. There you go. Harmonic reset. Harmonic reset on Desync, man. Sound like there weren't patterns on it. I haven't. I think I looked at this. I caught on to him probably about 4 months ago. Funny guy. I guess he's real successful with some other software stuff. But when it comes to levels and what needs to happen, a typical brand new kind of crypto rollout has to do an 886. 886 is like 13 cents on Destra. And I'll say 13 cents. Yep. Couple more. AI. On AI Tether. You know, Butterfly. I mean, again, another one I don't know. I really don't know this one, but what's the pattern say, guys? I mean, you read the pattern to yourself. This is why we do harmonic patterns. Screaming type 2. So even if you missed it here for the 1 and you had a secondary 2, I'd say you need confirmation. And look, that's a perfect example of crypto going crazy. I know I've talked about this as well. Like if crypto is brand new, or any market, you know, Palantir, a lot of those IPOs, even Meta, they all did 886 resets. They come out, all the frenzied people comes all the way in. What's that? XAB, C down there, 886. I mean, you could say 786 there, but really 886 is your level. And that's 31 cents. You're 27 at the moment. Another one that needs a dot. And this is a part of demanding development. I think we talked about this last week, where there's the first sign of some kind of overbought signal. Now we need to see the dot, which is retest 1 green candle, 2 green candles, and then maybe it's down here. Like, and look, God, maybe I need to do this course even faster. Maybe I should do it February 21st, because I think you're running out of time. These are not difficult reads, but when you're deep oversold like that, you simply wait. Same with HSI. And again, apply this to any crypto you're looking at. This is why you get the software. Because you just ask yourself, where is HSI? What direction is it pointing into? There, it's down. Are we below or above the 50 level? We're still below. And that's a clear downtrend. I'm not stepping in on that knife. Not anytime soon. So just be aware. Maybe later this year, Justin. Excuse me, maybe later this year. But again, later this year after Bitcoin does a 236 or 382. What do you think people are going to be saying if Bitcoin's under 80,000? They're going to be crying. And then that next opportunity might come in where it's 73K, and people have capitulated out at that point, and then we get a slew of signals. I think if you, especially folks, if you're new, I'll point you to some areas where we have talked about Bitcoin at certain points, like in August, people were looking for 30K Bitcoin correction before the move. And we're saying, no, it's, let it come in. But once that 382 was finished, we were saying 60K is the move. Here's Ethereum. I'm seeing people, big X post by Eric Trump saying, hey, I just bought more Ethereum. Okay, good. But what does Ethereum need to do? Type 1 reaction, rejected at target 1. Okay, Ethereum is on its way back to 23 or maybe even 1900. And you guys know how I feel about Ethereum. I have not been a fan, and I'm not a fan. I think Solana eventually takes that over. But since this double, triple top, whatever, inability to get above 4K, we got to come back, thoroughly retest that trend line. I think Ethereum at 2,700 is nothing. But Ethereum at like 2K, Ethereum to 2K. Ethereum to 2K. And let's just make it simple. Hold it to me. Yeah, I think we need to forget about. What's up, Nick? What was his average BTC price? Is 64K. Yeah, I don't think he's. Look, I think the way that Mike, I call him Mike Saylor. I think the way he's set up, he did a big liquidation of MicroStrategy. And let's go over there, because I have concerns about MicroStrategy too. I'm still looking for under 300. And there's no confirmation. But he sold a ton of stock on this last push higher, like $500 million. And it didn't all go in Bitcoin. Trust me. He's got his geomagnetic bunker set up. He put a couple $100 million away. No matter what happens, if he gets liquidated on Bitcoin, okay, all of his investors are the ones that are going to get burned. Look, this is how these guys operate. They're not full on in, and they've got their reserve funds. How much do you need? 100 million? 20 million? 50 million? I mean, you don't need more than, I think, 20 million where you're never have to think again about living and taking care of yourself. But MicroStrategy, we talked about this last time, is all about the failure at the 1618. And it was perfect at 500. 382 is like 330. But what's that going to feel like if it's a 50, 50% retracement? Or dare I say 618, which is really common. When you see this harmonic, excuse me, this kind of harmonic stuff come together, and it's not difficult. I just need to communicate the relationships extremely well. You guys just need to spend a couple of days or weeks looking at the relationships and see how they repeat over and over again. It's not a tough read. So a massive 1618 move here, which is nothing less than spectacular, godlike, followed by an all-time 618 retracement, is nothing. It's really nothing. Would I be long MicroStrategy? Hell no. Not until I got a dot or a signal. I'll show you the other one. Coinbase. We have patterns here. Big, deep crab. So it's not like we're really looking, we're reaching for stuff. Coinbase. It was a deep crab. 886 failed. We also had this. We had these big patterns down here. I'm going to argue that not only on the weekly with Coinbase, that you have to go to 223 at a minimum. I know it's 275, but this thing is whittling its way down. I would not even think about it until 223. And would 150 be a possibility? Yeah. Yeah, it is a possibility. Okay. I want to be in front of that one. I don't want to kind of mince words here. I want to be super clear. We are in a full retracement phase on Coinbase. It's a type 1 reactive 30 bars on the weekly. 30 bars. That's another strategy to lay out, but look, make the assessment. T1, there's no confirmation. That's a shame, but I would still say you do a 30 bar assessment. That puts you to June. There's the June thing again. Bitcoin was a 30-week to June, end of June. Okay? Yeah, I agree on that with XLM. What's up, Adams? Yeah, I talked about XLM and XRP last time. And I lumped out of XRP. I started lumping out of XLM, and I will lump out of the rest. More of that. I'm lumping out. Anything else I have, I am lumping out. I will be absolutely out of everything probably by a week from today or more. Or less, excuse me. But that's where we are. Let me just highlight the big ones. All right, so Tesla's down today it's off 8 today. 340 has been our number. I want to highlight these big pattern opportunities to really hammer it home. That I've said really since December that Tesla, I love Tesla. I think it's a great long-term play. I think crypto's a long-term play. I think Bitcoin's a long-term play at the right price. And that's back down there at T1. 340 minimum. Today we broke structure. Today we are under that 374 level. And that's defined structure breakdown. It would be like this. You know, look at it like if you just, where's the M pattern? M, X, A, B point there, or maybe it's a bat. Break the B point and go down lower. Okay. T1, 340. Could it go lower? Absolutely. What would be that 886? Now, that would be a lot lower. But I've been super clear on all of that. Couple more. The big ones. All right. Nasdaq's up 60 again. Nice recovery after last week. The QQQ at 528 now. Okay. Still a butterfly. What's going on here? What possibly needs to happen is we could even still push a little bit higher. Have to retest HSI at 534 and then give us a couple dots where this becomes like a stretched out corrective wave. I'm still waiting for 487. Like, prove me wrong. And I'm bullish on the Qs where my targets are much higher. I want the ideal continuation signal. There's nothing bullish down here, not even a single HSI, and we could be very much kind of stretched out. Very much so. So what's that? 534. I mean, again, maybe we push up over the next few days into next week, and then we top out. Despite this ability, I haven't gone back in on any longs. Let me show you one or two more. And I need to get to gold, and I promised you guys a couple of Forex. Okay, Robinhood, my target was 55, was hit today. I started selling, and I'm probably going to sell more. What is it? Well, that was a big 50 level here. 618, I'm sorry. There's the 618. Almost exact. Earnings are coming up next week. I don't want to be around for them. We've been on Hood for a long time. I mean, all the way down here with that initial crab rebound, it broke above 27, and I said, this thing's got more to go. I think it's done for now. And I don't care if I miss it. It was a great run for me, as was Palantir. And Palantir did a monster move. It's 108 right now. Okay, I'm looking to get out on Palantir. What's Palantir? Look at this. It's just phenomenal. It's probably one of my best stock positions, if not the best stock position. We talked about this at the 886. At 40. We looked for the 1618. Okay, now 2618 has been achieved. And that's like 108. This is how we anticipate. Okay, you get to the target framework, be willing to take it off and give it up to get it. Because even if, look, Palantir is a monster. I would not be initiating any new long positions. Let me be clear. And that could do a 314, like 127, whatever. But I'm laser focused on 2618. Right where it is exactly now. I want to be done with it. It got the dot on the daily. It sure did. Who put that? What's up, Bat? Mr. Wayne Bat's son. Great. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. This is why you get the software. Yesterday was the dot. Today would be day one on the daily of considering whether or not it's time to bail on Palantir. I'm of the opinion, yeah. I mean, these are earnings. I think a lot of people would read that as a massive breakout gap, breakaway gap. We've had that before. I mean, back here, we had a couple of breakaway gaps. But these are the levels that we have talked about where this thing was going to go ballistic. And now you're at ballistic levels. That would be like Bitcoin at the 1025. Or even, no, that'd be Bitcoin at 155. And getting bearish confirmation. I'm not saying it's going to crash, but here's the idea. 2618, 382 is back at 70 bucks. That's kind of the framework expectation that we walk through with that. Nice one, Bat. Thank you, Bat. Yeah. Let's keep it moving. You guys know the situation on SPY. Here's the deal. Okay. We're staring at patterns. And the patterns are signposts of future price action. Harmonic patterns are signposts of future price action. And I said on Tuesday that this weekly, monthly situation where on Friday, that was day one of a check back, and that check back trigger was 602.97. We're 605. And at this point, okay, that could continue, but I am on full alert for some kind of topping situation. First thing that needs to happen, HSI's got to get to the 50. It's almost there on the monthly. I would say amplified needs to roll over, but levels have been achieved. Okay. And I'm watching this. I really am. And we're basically at all-time new highs, but framework is telling us, let's not ignore what we see. Let's not ignore what we see. It's time to consider some things that we have not had to consider for a while, maybe 2 years. And that's what I'm talking about. 618, hit the hop. Okay, but all of your confirmations already registered in. One or two more things before I really get out of here. I've got to talk about gold quickly. Gold's just amazing. 28, almost 2,900. And here's where it's just perfect. It's just perfect framework. All right, really ideal framework. The 1902 was violated. Really, it's like we go back, we look at 1618 area. which was 2,500-ish. There it is. 2,500, 2,520 like that. And then this is harmonic pattern framework where you get above that 1618, 1902 range. Then we go and start considering extreme targets, which lowest extreme level is 2618. And that's 3387, call it 3400. And that's what should happen fairly quickly. I think something's up. It just, the way this price action has been happening, you know, something is up. Weekly is expanding in the overbought, which is really strong. So you have more time where this should continue. Maybe we go into the end of February. Remember, November, December, January, even maybe a touch of February, all seasonally bullish for gold. Why? Because a lot of the producers are shut down, especially in the north, Canada, stuff like that. So not as much delivery. And then China's buying everything. But 3,000, 3,300, that's still objective on gold. How does that relate to Forex? And so a couple questions on British pound and dollar yen, euro yen. Weekly, I mean, look at this action. 121 to 130 over the last 2 years. That's the range. That's why I don't think Forex is just that great of a trading vehicle. You're not trending. Just not trending. 4-hour time frame, like, yeah, there's a few things here, but it just, I think there's so many more spicy markets to sink your teeth into that. Let me get it. Here we go with the data feeds again. Probably the best ones are like FXCM. That's, you got the most data and volume there. Yeah, look, British pound is a type 2 right now, around 124. But at best, maybe you get to 122. It's like, you know, not even 200 pips. I'd rather trade like equity futures, quite frankly. The daily, you know, interesting stuff at 123, 122 down there. Retesting a shark, a crab, but I think longer term monthly shows you the deal. There's the monthly chart, and there are big patterns right now. And I would, if you're going to trade currencies, you need to have an awareness of what the longer term trend is. It's a type 1. Excuse me, type 1 up to 129. And that's it. It's done. I would be looking for longer term British pound back to 112. Okay, but that's going to take a long time to get there. To me, that suggests the dollar will continue to be strong. Same can be said for the euro. Euro USD. Owanda, Forex.com, those are pretty good. Like that. I thought there were some things I had on monthly here. Oh, because of the data feed again. Euro, dollar, FXCM. There you go. Euro at 103 means nothing to me. I'm more of the opinion euro to the dollar. Retest 82. How about that? Trend is clearly still down. So maybe a thought on currencies, if you're going to trade them, go with the larger trend exclusively. Your last overbought triggers were like at 108. You know, it's moved a few hundred pips, but not really. That's still down. And you know what a stronger dollar means? Market doesn't like a stronger dollar. Futures, dollar futures, like this. Interesting monthly crab pattern on DX. What about the DXY? the index itself. There's the futures, probably the same deal, right? Yeah, the index itself, monthly. But look, no yellow dot. Again, part of the whole strategy. What's the last yellow dot we see here? It's a bullish dot, counter to the bearish zone. So I'm thinking you got to retest that HSI at like 113, guys. You make a run to 113, even to try to finish that move, that puts pressure on the markets. That puts pressure on crypto. And what was the bottom? The bottom on the dollar index here was October, which is interesting because crypto rarely runs counter. Usually you want the dollar going down. And then there's the amazing type 2. Look at that type 1, type 2 on that bat pattern. Still a lot of work to go, guys. The audio is, are you kidding me? Hold on. What about now? Should be okay. Are we good on audio, guys? Let me know. Audio is good, guys. And listen to the recording if you missed anything. Listen, Nasdaq's rolling over for the day. And I want to kind of wrap up with this. In the short term, a lot like Bitcoin, Nasdaq has some patterns on the 4-hour that I know it's been choppy and we are just super range bound, but we've got clear patterns up here. Okay, Shark on the low end at 2763, call it under 21K. And now we're just back retesting. Look how perfect that is. You're retesting your last HSI that was triggered yesterday. We checked back today. This current red candle, that's one. And maybe later today or by tomorrow, you get that second candle. And just think of it this way. There's your all-time high. I know S&P looks better, but this range-bound stuff is something to consider. The longer we do it, the harder it gets. Okay, the longer we wait here, the harder it gets. And I'm watching on the futures, contract adjusted, hit that BADJ button. 21,425 is a massive butterfly pattern. So I'm watching it all. Look, I want the markets to go up like everybody else, go straight up, everyone gets rich, but that's not how it works. Okay, we have to trade the market when the market's ready to be traded, meaning you want to go long, you better be oversold. You better have some structural signals that say, hey, market's ready to run back up. We have the opposite. We have the opposite on so many long-term time levels, daily, weekly, monthly on S&P, Nasdaq, and I have to be real with you guys. I'm not a narrative rah-rah guy. I'm flat out levels guy. That's how what we did from October till basically 2 weeks ago. All right, I'll own up, made a mistake or two. It cost me a chunk of change, but I won't make another. And you heard it from me here. Okay, I'm not making any more mistakes like that. It jumped a little early on a couple things, but now I've been clear of what my position, what I'm going to be doing and waiting for, and that could take till June. Of course, I'll be here every day monitoring. And a lot like Tesla, I want Tesla. I want to own Tesla forever. But if it goes to 440, back to 270, or even 340, as a trader, I don't do those kind of things. I implore you not to do them either. Yeah, look, Nasdaq's tanking down 50 now. Look what it did. Maybe this is you guys. Nasdaq tanking. And I'm going back to more active futures trading, more active than I have for a long time. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, it's just one down move. But I want you guys to be ready for the structure break because I think that's what's coming, like Bitcoin and Nasdaq. Once we break serious structure, and that's lower than where we are for now, I'm just looking back down under 21K. But the big structure break, if that happens, you're not going to want to be long. I'm not. I've been really clear today and Tuesday. So again, you like what's going on, you want to come to the course, get over here at Harmonic Trader, get the foundation material as a basic member. All right. And who wants a 30-day package? First person to type in HPC 30 will give away one more. And you have to hit me up on the Discord with your information, your email, full name, and your TradingView username. Get on over to the Discord there. HPC 30. Anybody want to join? And you're in. Pikachu, you win. And Greg, no way, man. You've already won a few times. Pikachu, you know what to do. Hit me up on the Discord. Everyone else, look, have a great weekend. Okay, go Eagles. I'm a big Eagles fan. Go Eagles. Yeah, the fans are kind of obnoxious, but the team's great. Been going to the game since I was a kid. I want to see him get the second Super Bowl. All right? So enjoy that. We'll be back here on Tuesday, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up over on the Discord. As always, have a great one. You guys are the best. We'll see you on Tuesday. Go get them.